You may think that the last 5 months' proposals went cold because the prospects weren't interested, but the numbers can say something completely different. Because most deals close on the fourth or fifth follow-up, and most sales teams stop at probably the second or third. They're not actually losing the deals because of the prospects. They're quitting on them too soon, and one message or two messages too early. So give me the next 6 minutes, and I'm going to show you exactly where in the follow-up sequences the deals actually close, and why your team almost certainly stops before that point, and the simple change that makes abandoning a proposal structurally impossible. I want the proposal, if you want the proposal send checklist, it's a 5-item checklist that your team completes the moment a proposal goes out, and it schedules every follow-up touch point right out of the bat before anyone has a chance to forget. It takes literally 5 minutes, and it makes a drop proposal almost impossible. So just drop follow up in the comments and I'll send it straight over to you. My name is Damien Qualter, and I'm the owner of the Expert Growth System, where we've helped coaching businesses lift their proposal conversion from 21 to 34% in 90 days without actually having to change a single proposal. And in every video I'm going to give you, you get one thing you can start using straight away in your business. Now here's the number one place revenue leaks in a business of your size. A proposal goes out, your team follows up once, maybe twice, and then crickets. And after a week or so of no reply, everyone quietly assumes that the proposal wasn't interested and moves them on. The proposal sits in a sent folder, never formally closed and never formally chased or properly chased. And the worst part is, this doesn't feel like a loss, it just feels normal. Like that's how proposals do go quiet and people accept it. A £28,000 proposal went quiet for 6 weeks. The consultant had marked it cold and already moved on. 3 months later, the same prospect signed with a competitor, the same service, and even actually a higher price. When we dug it out, the competitor had sent 7 touch points, and our client had sent only 2. The deal wasn't lost at the proposal, it was handed over in the silence. So what does your team actually need to do to make them follow up properly? They blame everything except the follow-up. The offer must be wrong, the lead quality dropped, the market's slow, the price was too high, and they tweak the pitch to ask for cheaper leads, rewrite proposal template, and try and fix everything. And they fix everything except one thing that actually broke, and that's because the silence felt like a verdict. And once it feels like a no, nobody really wants to keep chasing it. No one likes the rejection of it. So here's the real reason it doesn't work, and it's not laziness. Each day your silence chips away at your team's confidence that proposal was any good. And by probably about day 10, they're half convinced themselves that the prospect isn't interested at all. And the decision to send another message feels pretty uncomfortable to them. And the longer that takes, the worse the more uncomfortable they feel. So they stop right now, probably around touch point 3, which is what I usually see, which, according to the data, is the exact moment before the majority of winnable deals re-engage. The silence was never a no. It was meant I'm busy, I'm distracted, or waiting for someone else to sign the deal off. I was recently reviewing a pipeline with a client. They had sent out 11 proposals and all marked awaiting response, all between 10 and 20 days old. No one had followed up, scheduled past touch point number 2. So there was 11 live opportunities just sitting there bleeding out. And that was the moment I stopped treating follow-up as a habit problem and started treating it as a total system problem. So here's how to stop quitting one message too early. So you need to build out a 6-point sequence and schedule it the moment the proposal is sent. Not afterwards, not the moment it's sent, because leave it later, the urgency always tends to fade, and with ours, the sequence never gets built. So the proposal email isn't done until every follow-up is scheduled, and that's at day 3, day 7, day 14 and beyond. Now the follow-up just happens automatically, whether anyone remembers or not. Step 2, make every touch point add value. Never just checking in or just following up any questions. That isn't really a touch point. Give the prospect a reason to reply, and it signals that you've actually probably run out of things to say. Every message either has a specific question, shares something useful, or tries to move the conversation a concrete step forward. And cut the apology, sorry to chase, I know you're busy, all of that. That language tells your prospect you're a nuisance, and really you're not. You're a professional continuing a conversation that was already been had. Step 3, make the sequence a team standard, not an individual habit. Right now your follow-up quality depends entirely on which consultant picked the lead and what kind of week they're having. When the sequence lives in the system, it's scheduled and is visible as a task. That variability disappears once someone else catches it. Everyone follows through to touchpoint 5, not just your best person. And whether they did, it shows up in the weekly review. One client nearly wrote off nearly £19,000 deal at touchpoint 3. The prospect had gone dark for 18 days. Touchpoint 5 went out on schedule, and the reply came back within 4 hours, and it was signed the following week. Nobody on that team would have sent the message manually. The system did. And here's why it works. Conversions are sitting at touchpoints 4 and 5 traditionally, and that's not an opinion of mine. It's where where the moment your team wants to give up, right the moment before the highest share of the convertibles come back. Trust the sequence past the point where stopping feels natural, and capture deals where you've already walking away. You can build this yourself. All you need to do is just write the 6 messages, schedule them by hand, and hold your team to it. That's the free path. And it does work. The faster path is having a sequence fire automatically from the system, dropping the task right on the person's list whenever it should happen. So it never really depends on someone reminding it, or confidence, or memory. Either way, the principle holds. The deal just didn't die. The follow-up generally does. So if you want to make a dropped proposal almost impossible, grab the proposal send checklist. It's 5 items, 5 minutes, every follow-up scheduled before anyone forgets. Just drop follow-up in the comments below and I'll send it straight over to you. And you can put this in front of your team straight away today and start running it on the next proposal that comes in and goes out. And here's what the numbers tell us what happens. Conversion rates climb, not because the proposals got better, but because they finally reached a conclusion instead of trailing off into silence. It was the same offer all along, with the same leads, same team, more closed deals, purely because no one quits at touchpoint 3 anymore. Those 5 proposals from last month, which you may have forgot about, some of them were never lost. They were just paused, waiting for one more message that never actually got sent. So send that message to the next 5 and watch how many proposals come back to life and convert into new business for your business.